All right. Good morning, everyone. Jen, I don't want to hear it. I know it's not morning for everyone everywhere, but they're just going to have to get over it. And welcome to another episode of How I Met Your Mortgage. As always, I am your host, Adam Smith. And with me, pretty much as always, unless they've kicked me off the show, is our marketing director and another one of our coaches at Just the Tips, Jen Waybower. Good morning, Jen.
Good morning, Adam.
How are you?
Uh, Feeling a little punchy, so this is going to be a good time.
This will be an interesting episode. I think so too.
Yeah.
I want to introduce our guest, and this is definitely a unique situation, even without the current circumstances. But Mike Bruce, Mike, we've known each other a long, long time. I don't know how we.
Yes, we have.
I don't know why it took so long to get you on the show, but here we are. We're making up for it now.
I appreciate
and
that.
for those of you listening, Mike admitted to us off camera that he had a snowboarding incident over the weekend and actually has a concussion. I don't know if Jen and I are good medicine for that or not.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but we're going to roll with it and see if we can't eke out an episode with Mike anyway.
We're gonna have a great time today.
Yeah, we'll have a good time. And thank you for joining us. I know that it's hard to squeeze out some time to make this kind of thing happen, so we are very, very appreciative.
I'm appreciative too. This is gonna be a lot of fun today.
This will be. All right, so I think without equivocation, one of the things that everybody really wants to know about you is how does one go about getting two first names?
I got three first names. I'm lucky.
That's right.
Michael
Yeah,
David
three
Bruce.
first
Yeah.
Michael David Bruce. That's right.
And trying to come up with a name for our new son that's coming in July. We're losing our minds. Like, do we name him for two first names too? Maybe I should just name him Smith Bruce or something.
Smith
So
Jones
at the
Bruce.
last, yeah. So,
Or Jones Johnson Bruce.
There you
yeah,
go.
I don't know. That's a tough one. And
how do I not screw him up?
the other question, of course, is that everybody expects that you are a direct descendant of the King of Scotland from the Braveheart movie, right? Mike the Bruce.
That's right. I'm sure there's a king in our history.
He was
I
Robert the
don't know.
Bruce, but you're Mike
That's
the
right.
Bruce.
That's right.
Well, congratulations. You're about to be a father.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
It's,
really cool stuff.
Nerve-wracking. Yeah.
It is. I'm not going to mention any names because it's still a bit of a secret, but Jen and I have a close friend who literally yesterday had his first child. Well, he didn't deliver it himself, but he commented on how scary it was and so on and so forth. And I think the big issue there is really that how the delivery goes isn't all that big a deal in comparison to now you've got the responsibility of raising a decent human being.
That's right.
That's a tough one. So before we get too far down this road, Jen, do me a favor and make sure that we are in fact streaming.
We are.
Okay, because live
We're good.
producer's given me the usual headaches and hiccups, so that's a good thing. All right. So, Mike, give us a little bit of background about you, the history of your career, how you got into real estate, what in the world would make you think you wanted to do this as a career, these kinds of things. Do I need to shorten up these questions for you?
No, it's a broad one.
My concussed friend.
Yeah, a little bit about me. Born and raised in Colorado. Grew up in Longmont, Berthoud area. Went to college out in Greeley, UNC.
Go Bears.
Yeah, go Bears. One of the very few people who still admit it. Moved down to Denver in 2009 and started dating my wife now. But I was working at a Verizon wireless cell phone store, and she said, that's not a career. You need a career. And both my parents ran an insurance agency for 30 years. And so originally I wanted to be an insurance agent. And then I realized that you just sit at a desk all day, and got out of that pretty quickly. She mentioned to me, check out real estate. So in 2013, I got licensed as a real estate agent, joined the Keller Williams downtown office, mainly because it's close to her office, and she thought we'd be able to have lunches together. In 7 years, we've had lunch like twice. So we're doing great.
Yep,
But,
right on schedule.
Yeah.
Every 40 months, whether we need it or not.
That's right.
Got it.
But yeah, now I'm one of the top agents in the office. We're selling somewhere between 40 to 50 houses a year. I've got a team now. I've got 2 agents that work for me as buyer's agents, and then I've got a full-time admin. I'm now part owner of the Keller Williams downtown office. Kind of cool how that all happened, but we don't need to go down that rabbit hole unless you want to. But just fun turning this hobby of looking at houses into a full-time career and being able to provide, not just to my family, but to give back to the communities as well. And most of my business is all through database and through friends and family. It's not like I'm one of those agents who's busting on the doors or, cold calling, anything like that. It's all through my own sphere. And so it's just a great business to start and just kind of grow naturally.
Well, and I think there are a couple of important pieces there. We certainly want our audience to know that the goal here is to have a strict repeat and referral business. We understand new agents, knock on doors and make cold calls. And obviously Keller Williams teaches and influences a lot of this stuff. Expireds, FSBOs, so on and so forth. And I think that there is some merit to those kinds of lead gen activities, particularly when you're brand new. But obviously those of you that are watching live or in syndication or listening to the podcast, the idea here is to do that for the opportunity to build your audience, build your contact database, build up people to do your organic marketing too, whether that's email, text, video, social media, whatever the case may be, with the understanding that eventually that's going to give you an opportunity to do some of the things Mike's already done and beyond, like build up a team, have a strict repeat and referral model. And Mike, I'm going to have to disagree. I think a lot of our audience would want to know how it came to pass that you are now part owner of a really cool and legit Keller Williams operation, one of the biggest in the Denver metro area. And I know that operation well. We have a lot of colleagues and clients that work there, and it's a cool culture to boot.
Yeah, it's an awesome company. And most of what I've been encountering outside of our office is the closed door mindset, where people don't feel comfortable sharing their secret sauce. Show me your marketing plan kind of stuff. They're the number one agent in our office opened up their portfolio to us, just saying, this is what I do every single day. This is what I do every single month. Here's how I'm successful. He sold 100 houses last year. And if I have the ability to take a snippet from that and implement that into my business, I like to call it R&D, rip off and duplicate. That's now my idea. Whether he had it first, I'm now doing those pop buys and videos and all the other stuff. And so we have the ability to just mastermind what all of us are doing and what's working. And so that's just I'm so grateful for the opportunity to work at that kind of company where everyone is just, here's what I'm doing. Here's what's successful. Every week we get on a call together and we all just kind of spitfire what worked well this week. What offer did you submit that got accepted and how did you get it accepted? Because right now I feel like that is the most important thing in a market where our inventory is less than a week. We need to have a way to, one, get more listings, and two, get our buyers under contract on those listings. And so masterminding with all the other agents just really helps out a lot.
Yeah, we've certainly started to measure time on market as minutes on market rather than days in the Denver area, no question. But there are a couple of really important things that I want our audience to key in on from what you said. One is that there really isn't a whole lot of original content when it comes to lead generation ideas. You guys know what you're supposed to be doing. You're just not doing it. You need a swift kick in the ass. Who knows? There are some exceptions to that, obviously, like, when Facebook groups became really, really popular, the idea behind comment farming in Facebook groups for ideological triggers, theoretical triggers that lead to the buying and selling of homes, like getting married, having a baby, bought a car, getting divorced, selling my wedding dress, whatever the case may be. These are things that you can key in on in your big Facebook groups that may very well be good lead gen activities. And obviously this didn't exist 10 years ago. Now, for the most part, 90% of what we're doing in the lead gen space did exist 10 years ago and 20 and 30 and so on and so forth. Working the phone, staying top of mind, good email campaigns, good text campaigns, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think that there's a lot of truth to that. The other thing that I think is really important, we talk about this all the time, not just in our coaching, but certainly on the podcast and so on and so forth, is that what you guys are exhibiting is an abundance mindset. That if you're good at what you do, there's more than enough business to go around. Let's share some tips. Let's share some ideas. Let's share some tricks. As of late, because of a previous podcast guest, Jen and I have been sharing with a lot of the real estate agents repping the buyers for our mortgage company to offer to pay the seller's closing costs. Now, that's not a big deal. It's not a ton of money, and it does make offers look really, really attractive for those of you listening that are in tight markets, although all urban markets are tight these days. And the psychological gimmick, although I hate to use that word, of a buyer offering to pay a seller's closing costs looks really, really attractive on paper. So there's your free nugget for today for those of you watching or listening. But what Mike is expressing comes from an abundance mindset, not a scarcity mindset. If you are so good at what you do that you're willing to help other people succeed, you're going to succeed even further. And if you are so close-lipped, so close-minded about sharing what you think, again, there's not a whole ton of original or organic content in the lead gen space. If you are so close-minded that you're not willing to share what works with your colleagues, then odds are pretty good that that scarcity mindset is going to limit you in your career in general.
Absolutely.
All right. So tell us, when you first started, and I know that this was, 312 years ago, what kind of these activities were you, in fact, doing to find buyers and sellers to generate leads?
I did everything.
Everything.
Door knock, cold call, open houses. Open houses was huge for me. My biggest thing was social media, but that was back in 2013 when people actually logged into their social media accounts. I feel like everyone's turning them off now.
Right.
What started was the social media aspect, but it was more of focusing on my database, my sphere of influence, the people that already are friends with me. I'm posting, I'm doing this open house. I'm walking through this property. I'm showing my database that I'm actually doing work. Now, it may not have been my listing. It may not have been my client that I was showing the house to, but I was showing the database that I'm actually working. And that turned into a couple of clients, which then branding is so important. Every one of our clients, when we're closing, we've got a sign that says sold by the Bruce Holmes Colorado Group. And we ask them to hold that up and just kind of have that brand recognition every time we're closing. Stuff like that definitely does help. And it turned into, I got tired of being a voice of a real estate agent. I wanted to be face-to-face. I wanted to be belly-to-belly with people. So I started networking groups. I joined a chamber of commerce. I joined a young professional networking group. I got involved in a BNI, a networking group that way. My business now is so ingrained into being face-to-face with people. That's almost my business entirely now, is my agents are asking me to stop being at the house all the time, go do something. Because anytime I'm out and about doing something, I pick up clients. And like a friend of mine started a nonprofit. And so I just wanted to get involved. I show up and I start teaching people about what I do as a real estate agent. Next thing you know, my phone's ringing. I've got 2 or 3 clients out of that event, and it had nothing to do with real estate. And so what I'm now realizing is the more you give, the more you get. So I just have to figure out a way to get myself out there, and whether it be something for real estate or, more importantly, something that's not. So being a coach or being a church member or something. If you're getting involved in something else that's not real estate related, and you just happen to say, and I'm a real estate agent, no one's going to be banging down your door asking you for the business. But if you are going out there and giving, people are going to want to turn around and give back to you as well. So that's where I'm really getting. Last 2 or 3 years of my business, it's just been getting involved in the community. And it's weird because you don't see a direct turnaround. You don't see that happen the next day someone's calling you. But if you show up every month or every other week or whatever that timeline is, business comes back. And so you just got to get involved and stay involved.
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to that. There's some real Zig Ziglar shit in there, no question. He would be very proud of you, no question. And I would say one of the most successful things I ever have done for my mortgage career was volunteer work. Still a volunteer with the Department of Defense, the county sheriff's office, sat on a number of different boards over the years, everything from the Colorado Avalanche to Jewish Colorado. I mean, just on and on. And that kind of philanthropic giving, and again, let's not confuse that philanthropy doesn't just have to be money. It can as well be time, and we've always learned that when you're young, you donate your time, and when you're old, you donate your money, and it's a sliding scale in between. But those kinds of activities, without even it being intentional by any means, always found a way to work itself back into being a positive for my business. No question about it. Yeah, that's really a good one. And obviously we work with a lot of newer agents, a lot of agents that are producing in a range up to, and even including what you guys are up to these days, although everybody who listens to the podcast knows we've got a pretty stringent vetting process, and that you've got to at least be doing a certain amount of production to be on the show. But I think it's important for our audience to understand that this isn't something that you stop doing or let up on once you're producing to a volume that you think is satisfactory, because that's not where donating your time begins and ends. It's I don't even know how to describe how intertwined and yet separate your business and your volunteer work, your philanthropy are. They are completely separate things. You should go volunteer. Absolutely. Go work at your kid's school. Go, clean up the neighborhood parks. I know a bunch of people who volunteer up at the community garden up the street from my place. That kind of thing. But coincidentally, if you're doing something in the volunteer space, in the philanthropy space that you love, that you truly believe in, then you're going to all of a sudden be interacting with people that you share that with, that also love this organization or this activity or this work or these results. Maybe it's, tutoring kids. I've got a colleague, a real estate agent, and she's got a big reading program for inner city kids. She loves it. It has bound her to a lot of her clients, has bound a lot of her clients to other clients, so on and so forth. And the end result of inner city kids getting a leg up on their reading skills is huge. Everybody loves her program. And as a result, she's meeting all these people who not only have a big connection to who she is, which then comes back because these are people that want to work with her when they have real estate needs.
Yep.
So, I can't even give you guys an idea of how that perfect circle is so perfect.
The biggest thing that I keep hearing is, how do we compete with the online, the Zillows, the realtor.coms? It's like, I don't have enough money to be first first Googleable, searchable thing. However, if I'm the coach, or if I'm a church member or somebody that's leading whatever it may be, if I'm ingrained in that person's life, there's no way Zillow is going to be able to compete with that, or any other like Redfin agent. If I'm in that person's life, but you're absolutely right. Being involved for a day is one thing, but if I'm involved in that person's life for the next foreseeable future, I become ingrained, and I'm one of them. I'm one of the people. And so the people will call, whether it be, I just have a quick real estate question, or, hey, I'm ready to buy or sell a house. Let's do this. I like to be that person of just, I'm here and I'm available and I'm happy to help. But you can't give up, and you got to keep going. And if you're going to be giving, whether it be, neighborhood cleanups, you got to do that, and you can't ever do anything alone ever again. You just got to invite other people to come do it with you, because the more people that are there, you're out in front of them, and they want to be involved. You want to be involved. Just get everybody together as a big group and let it all happen naturally.
Yeah, I think that that's true. And don't get me wrong, this kind of leads into a huge conversation. We'll have to get Mike back on the show, Jen, when he's not concussed. But what we're basically alluding to here, not just in your philanthropic work, but how important it is to worry about the who you are and not the what you do. And people are going to know. People are going to find out you're in real estate. You don't need to sell that point. You do need to sell the who you are. And you need to run with your tribe, whether that's a group of people that have a similar mindset because they all believe in the same cause or charity, then so be it. Jen's got a bunch of examples that I would bring to the table as viable examples, like wine, yoga. Jen's a sommelier, so she has a heavy wine drinking community. Although in the last 12 months, what isn't a heavy wine drinking community, I guess? And Jen's been doing yoga and teaching yoga for as long as I can remember, or is working on as a student on how to teach. Yeah, I can't even keep up with all of your activities, Jen. But Jen, being a sommelier, she's not going to run heavy with the AA crowd, right? These are not her people. It's like the vegan who's trying to solicit business from the National Cattlemen's Association. This is not how to run with your tribe. This is not how to connect with like-minded individuals, people that you would want to work with, people that would want to work with you. Volunteer work, absolutely, as long as it's something you truly enjoy, believe in, you like the cause, you like the result, you like the people, these kinds of things. Yeah, Mike, this is huge stuff. I mean, we're on a stellar plane here.
I've got a good one. One of my past clients calls me up and says that he's in the middle of getting a divorce, and in order for him to work with me again, I had to go to his workout group. And I am 270 pounds. I am not athletic in any way. But I said, you know what? I'll go to this workout group. And it's called the November Project. It's totally free. And they meet up in downtown Denver twice a week. And we work out together as a group at 5:50 in the morning.
Wow.
And so I am, once again, I'm by far the most unathletic person in that group. But consistency. I show up to that workout group. COVID hit. It's now all on Zoom. I am on there almost every Wednesday, working out with all the people via Zoom. And then on Friday, we get together as a group still on Zoom, and we make coffee together. We just sit around and we talk. And so this workout group has now turned into more of a family than anything. But I'm part of the culture. And, you know, I may not be running the marathons like the rest of them are, but I'll get up and I'll go run a mile because I got to track it on my Strava app. And, you know, I'm trying. And I bought a bike this last year just so I can get in shape. And becoming involved in that group has then turned me into somebody who wants to get in shape and who wants to work out. And so maybe it may not be the best, you know, a wine drinker to an AA group, but if you want to get into a group that you may not feel comfortable yet, embrace the uncomfortableness, embrace the suck is what I like to say, but just get into it and start participating, and things happen. It works. It works out really well.
Yeah, I think the entire part of everything you're saying is just being genuine to who you are. And that's what a lot of real estate agents, salespeople, whatever you want to say, struggle with, is they think they have to fit into this box in order to be successful. They have to pay for the leads. They have to appeal to everyone or whatever. And, you know, it just comes down to being a human being instead of being a machine. That's all it is be whoever you are, and you'll attract the people that you actually want to work with.
Totally.
True story. Yeah, we won't get into the further developments of buying leads and what Zillow has done to that community in the last couple of weeks, so on and so forth. That's been an interesting ride. Yeah, no doubt about that. And Mike, we obviously know that this isn't, you know, you're not a CrossFitter, you're not, you know, jumping in front of the mirror and flexing and so on and so forth. You can't even keep 2 feet up on your snowboard, right?
Not even a little bit.
Hence the concussion. For those of you, we are giving Mike a hard time about this today, but somebody clipped him getting off of a ski lift, so it really wasn't his fault, and don't let him fool you. He's not as clumsy or oafish as he is leading you all to believe. I've seen him in person many times. That's not the case. But yeah, and I can't remember who, but Jen, it was a recent show that we talked about just being genuine. Just that's all you got to be is, true to yourself, and it'll attract people. And attracting people will eventually attract business. But yeah, it's in this kind of arena, gang, it's got to be the byproduct. You got to go out there. You got to be you. You got to be for the greater good of the community. You got to be for the greater good of your group, so on and so forth. And I promise you, the business is a byproduct of that.
Yeah.
Same with that abundance mindset.
I was about to say that too. Abundance mindset. People are going to always want to buy and sell houses. You just got to be the one top of mind when they're ready to buy and sell. And so how do you stay in front of all those people? Call, text, see them in person.
Actually,
say hi.
Be involved in their lives.
That's right.
Yeah, no question. That is absolutely how this works. All right, so we've covered a lot of this, that we know Mike likes to be belly to belly. We know Mike likes to be involved in the community. We know Mike was doing this workout group that went to Zoom. I can't imagine anything more embarrassing than people watching me work out on Zoom, but neither here nor there. The last 12 months have had a big impact on your ability to do the belly-to-belly kind of things that you love to do that are good for your business as a byproduct. What kind of adjustments other than working out on Zoom have you made in the last 12 months?
It has been a complete game changer because almost every one of my networking groups is gone. And if they're not gone, they're all on Zoom. And so getting used to just sitting in this chair and staring at my computer for several hours. If the community or the group still wants to meet in Zoom, that's what we're going to do. But the rest of it has been a lot of pop buys. We will get little gifts for our top 10 tier, our main level, our past clients. And we go and we just drop off little gifts at the doorstep. That way I can set it on the doorstep and start walking away. I don't even have to actually interact with the people, but they see it. They know what's going on. For good examples of what we drop by is in July, we dropped out little ketchup, mustard, and relish 3-packs that you get at Walmart and put a little tag on there that says, "You must have heard we relish you as clients. Can't wait till COVID's over so we can catch up."
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
The pun.
It's dad jokes. That's what I'm good at.
I was going to say, you are already at the pinnacle of dad jokes, and you're not even a dad yet. Wow.
That's right.
This is
but
amazing.
it wasn't expensive. We probably spent $500 in ketchup and mustard packets, but in the end of the day, we're still there. We're still with people, and whether we're there or not, so we definitely are trying to embrace the COVID culture of just trying to socially distance. We're not going to breweries. We're not going to, happy hours, but how do we still maintain that kind of connection with everybody? And text messaging, calling, and just random pop buys is really the best thing that we've got going for us. But it's really allowed us to kind of just double down on our systems. And I wanted to learn Spanish while COVID is going on. I didn't learn any Spanish, but I am definitely doubling down on the database and just trying to make sure that everyone who is in my database knows that I'm still around. I'm not, I didn't just close the doors and shut my shop and just go from there. So still keeping active, still staying busy, and having fun. I think that's the biggest thing, is going on bike rides with people now. And so I'm still out there doing stuff. I had to come up with something better or different that would allow me to continue going forward.
That's cool. El burro sabe más español que tú.
Perfecto.
Perfecto. That means the donkey knows more Spanish than you.
Oh, that's it.
Okay. Got it. But what I really want to emphasize, and yeah, Jen, I see you. I know we're running out of time here. Is that all of those things that Mike just listed that he is doing? Obviously, the last 12 months have been huge on database, on systems. If you guys haven't done that, I don't know what you've done with the last 12 months, because you should have focused a great amount of effort and energy on those things. But pop buys, text messages, phone calls, none of this is new revelation kind of ways to generate leads, stay in front of people, stay top of mind. This is all stuff that we've all known for decades, that we all should be doing day in, day out, week, months, year in, year out. So again, there isn't anything, there are no magic potions, there are no unicorns, there's nothing fancy or fantastic or fabulous about some new concept or idea in your lead gen activities. And all the ones that are making Mike as successful as he is this year, this past 12 months, are all things you guys have done, should be doing, know you should be doing, and hopefully Mike's words will be enough of a kick in your ass that you guys all know this isn't rocket science. We're not, developing technology light years ahead when it comes to ideas behind generating leads. Do these things.
Find your passion. Find your passion. Never do it alone.
Oh, I like that one too. Yeah. Jen's going to love that little quip.
Yep.
All right. So, Mike, obviously there are going to be people in our video and podcast audiences that are going to be in the business local and want to connect with you. There are going to be people that are consumers and like you, even in your concussed state, and may want to work with you. How do people get a hold of you?
Yeah, my office is the Keller Williams downtown office next to the Pepsi Center. You can more reach out to me.
Ballerina.
Ballerina, yeah, that's right. Whatever they're calling it now. You're more than welcome to reach out to me. My team is the Bruce Holmes Colorado team. My cell and email, you're more than welcome to call me or text me, whatever. 720-771-0495. And my email is mike@brucehomesco.com.
Very cool.
And so, yeah, I'm more than happy to meet up with somebody local or far away, Zoom has brought us all closer together as a people, so I'm always happy to share ideas and advice.
Yeah, Zoom is amazing, but yeah, I am cooked on it. And of course, you're doing it in the kind of volume that, our poor high school kids have to do these days.
That's right, 8 hours a day.
Just sitting in front of the camera. Yeah, that's really rough. And yeah, at this point, the only thing I'm really big on when it comes to Zoom is the value of the stock I own in that company. All right, so Jen, what am I missing? What else do we want to pick Bruce's brain about before we get Bruce on for another episode next year?
We'll definitely have to dive deeper into video work, how you started out on social media, all that, but we definitely don't have time for that today, but I'll be looking forward to that for sure.
I'm happy to come back. This is great. I had a lot of fun.
Cool. And you'll be in a better physical headspace for that episode. We
for
hope.
Sure.
Jen, let's get Mike booked in the summer. Because no snowboarding
So he's not
accident.
gone snowboarding?
No snowboarding
Got it.
accidents.
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
You got it. Okay. All right. So in conclusion, and Mike, this was a lot of fun. So thank you very much.
I had a great time
for doing this. For those of you that are watching either live or in syndication, and you want more information about us, about our company, if you want to see or listen to other podcast episodes, if you want to catch our weekly little tip, we do a video blog with a quick tip on something you can be doing to generate more leads. What else am I missing? If you want a copy of my book, that one I know is on there. The Mile High Mastermind, our mastermind event every fall. What else are they going to get back in the way of content if they use that text code, Jen?
They get the link to book a free hour with you on coaching.
I don't know if that's a privilege or a punishment, but
yeah,
either way.
A little bit of both.
Okay.
Link to the podcast on both Apple and Spotify. Our website, of course. Basically, any way you could possibly need to contact us, you can get through that text code.
Cool. So for those of you listening to the podcast, that code is texting TIPS, TIPS, TIPS to 63566. And it will ping you back all that stuff. All right. Well, Mike, thank you again for being here. This has been amazing for us. I cannot figure out for the life of me why it took so long to get you on the show, other than we're
just grateful that I did.
Yeah.
That's right.
Cool. Yeah, there was no way we were going to reschedule this, concussion or not, apparently.
That's right. No way.
Very cool. All right.
I appreciate you guys. I found a lot of value in this.
Yeah, likewise. All right, I'm going to run our extra. Mike, stay on board with us for a minute. The rest of you, we will catch you next week.